Chris, and today I'm going to teach you how to see in the dark. So to see in the dark, you can think of it as a metaphorical thing, or you can think of it as a literal thing. It's actually going to be both when you practice it enough. You actually have night vision. And what you're going to see is a bunch of little like white sparkles of energy just shimmering on top of surfaces. You won't be seeing color. You won't be able to see like very finite things like writing something in a pencil, but you might be able to see it eventually. The way to do this is you really just need to start with balancing yourself in the dark. And you can do this by balancing on one foot in the light. Practice balancing on one foot. When you practice balancing on one foot, you are in turn balancing not just your body, but your mind as well. And when you balance your mind and body, in turn, you will be balancing your spirit, because the mind, the body, and the spirit are connected. They're all three parts of the same whole. They're just three pieces that create the full puzzle. When you balance on one foot in the light and you get good at it, you can start balancing on one foot in the dark. When you're balancing on one foot in the dark, you will notice that your senses are actually different. You might feel like you have less balance. It feels different to balance on one foot in the dark, because when the lights are off, your senses are now deprived. And when your senses are deprived, it feels much different. But eventually, after a good while of trying this, you'll notice that you're actually getting better at balancing on one foot in the dark. And you can actually try different things, like picking up an object that you know is there, but you can't physically see it just yet. The more you try to do this, and the more you have faith in what you're about to approach and touch, the more you'll start to see things. And the more you'll start to look kind of like shifting shadows of just objects, almost like a shadow within the dark. Eventually, you'll start to see little specks of light here and there. Maybe a light from across the room might be amplified. If you focus on it, this can also increase your ability to see light specks in the dark. If you focus on the little bit of light that is in the room, maybe a smoke alarm detector or something charging across the room on your computer, like maybe a tiny light, if you focus on that light that's emanating from it, it can actually stretch. Focus is the key to all of this. What you give your attention to is what is empowered in your life. Attention equals empowerment. So if you give attention to the darkness, then you're going to be seeing more of that darkness, and it's going to have more power over your life. If you give attention to the light, you're going to be seeing more of that light, and it's going to be empowering that light, and you're going to have that in your life more often. When you practice this standing on one foot in the dark, you're going to notice what you're doing is you're finding a balance within this darkness. And this can actually reflect further on in your life. For example, if there's someone in your life who's making fun of you or calling you names or giving you a hard time, or maybe just obviously trying to teach you a lesson and discipline you, but you just can't see and understand what they're saying, or you don't like what they're saying to you, or it just doesn't resonate with you, the fact that you're standing on one foot in the dark and you're finding balance in that darkness will give you the ability to see through that moment, in that moment. So when someone's insulting you, you'll just see through them. You're like, oh, I see what they're saying now. Or you'll be like, oh, I see what's wrong with them. They're just insecure, or they just have this going on. It's not about me. So when you practice balancing yourself in the dark, you can also meditate in the dark. You can do other things to balance yourself in the dark. But when you practice balancing yourself in the darkness, you'll actually find that you can actually bring the light to the darkness. And in turn, you'll have this supernatural ability to see in the dark, like night vision. It's not gonna look like a filter of color. It's gonna look like a bunch of sparkles everywhere. And this could be done by anybody. You can do it, I can do it, anyone can do this. It just takes a little bit of practice. or maybe a lot. It's up to the person. Everyone's different. It depends on who you are and how much you practice. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful, very peaceful day. My name is Chris. This is Magical Answers. Please subscribe to my channel. Comment section below if you want me to talk about anything else. Just let me know and I'll try to give you my best answer. Namaste.